Now the pair I actually want us to look out for is GBP USD. The reason is because I have a typical example of how I use this, so I decide to use this particular time frame, or rather this particular pair, for this example. But the first thing that we must establish is the trend, and we are going to use the daily time frame for that. Okay, so I know that the chart is a little bit clumsy, but don't worry, you are going to understand everything you see on the chart by time we are done this evening, right now in this video. So the first thing is a breakout. Okay, so first you want to see a breakout on the daily time frame. Now the breakout we want to see on the daily time frame, sorry about that, a call came in. Now the breakout that we want to see on the daily time frame is not just a mere breakout. All right, now it doesn't just have to be on the daily time frame, you can as well find that on 4 hour. Okay, but on this day, this was a daily time frame. I will show us a 4 hour example as we move on. Okay, so the first thing that we want to talk about is first thing we want to talk about is this. After the break which we have on here, we go to a lower time frame. Now this is not the exact place, because I think it was somewhere here I took the trade somewhere on Friday also. Yeah, this was the setup. So before we get here, I will explain every other thing to you on the back end, so that you have an idea of how we can also catch massive moves like that. Okay, so first thing first, we have a breakout which was on the hard time frame, and you can see it here on the 4 hour time frame as well. So once you have this breakout on the 4 hour time frame, two things should come to your mind. First, where is price going to, and where is price coming from? So now we already know where price is coming from. Price is coming from this low, and it just broke a market structure here, and we also have another break here. So what do? We mark out our key levels, and of course this is a daily key level. As you see here, this is a daily key level. What happened when price got there? Immediately price tapped the daily key level, there was an instant reaction. So this is one thing I want you to pay attention to. First, you don't just want to let me remove this so that you can have a seamless experience. Now you don't just want to enter blindly on every rejection. Okay, first you use structure, then second you use our key level, and you wait for the tap. And once that tap is formed, you also want to wait for a V-shaped support and resistance MSNR to be formed. Okay, so what do we have? We now have what? We have a V-shape formed here. So immediately this is formed, the next thing you want to do is you wait for price to come and mitigate it. Now as you can see, price came and mitigated it. So are you going to enter directly? Of course not. You can go to one time. Of course you can actually enter directly, okay, but if you want to help minimize the amount of pips you want to use, you come to the lower time frame. Now on the lower time frame, the first thing you want to look out for is going to be structure. Okay, so first let's talk about structure, then we'll talk about the other things. First we have this here. This is the structure we have on this leg, like this, right? We have structure like this, and before that V shape was formed. So immediately that V shape was formed, which we have here, right? We have the V shape here, and this is what we have. We have the V shape here. Remember the V shape, we drew it somewhere here. All right, look at it. So we wait for structure to do its thing. But before then, you see, when price was coming down, price, of course this was an internal structure anyway, so I wouldn't want to explain this because so that you don't get confused. As you can see, everything forming here was happening within this candle. So this is not a 1 hour structure. Everything on this box is not a 1 hour structure, it's a structure on another time frame. So you want to use the structure on the particular time frame that you are, because this is when you are going to gain more accuracy in your setups. Okay, so if this is the structure we're looking out for, which of course occurred on the lower time frame, can we go? Let me go there so that you can see it very well. So remember the box that we drew earlier? This is exactly what we mean. So that was actually a 30-minute structure. Yes, 30-minute structure. You can see it. That was a structure. right? So it was a full-fledged 30-minute structure, and this was the beginning of that 4 hour, and it ended somewhere here. So what are we looking out for? Immediately we see that, where is this thing? It's here. So immediately we see that it's giving us an indication that, okay, price might want to continue to the upside. Remember, we already had a daily tap and 4 hours worth V-shape SNR level created, and price taps it. Can we confirm where price tapped it again, so that you follow me and I'll show you exactly what we're looking out for. Okay, yeah. So beginning of that candle is where we want to start looking for our entries. Yes, beginning of this candle. So what do we have? If we have this as a break of structure or a change of character or change in state of delivery, as I call it, especially seeing that price was coming to the downside from the 30 minutes, right? So this high was broken. So now that it's broken, what else? Inducement. And we have the inducement here. So after the inducement, what else? A key level, and this is a key level, and you can look for your setup here. But remember, all of these things, you have to be patient, because see how many hours it took to form. It took about 8 hours to form the V-shaped SNR after the tap. Of course, that was when I should be sleeping by that time when that was happening. All right, so that's just the framework, the first framework. Okay, so let me show you another one. So we'll go back to the 4 hours. So on the 4 hour, we want to see the overall reaction of price, what market is doing on the 4 hours. Where is it now? Okay, where was the one we entered just now? Not quite long. Yep, okay, somewhere here, right? So on this day, this was a Monday, and on Tuesday, this is on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, what do we have? We have a break. Let's remove this. Okay, we have this break of structure, right, to the downside, and that's a simple change in state of delivery. Why? Because price was going up, and all of a sudden we had a sweep on there, and after the sweep, what else? A change in state of delivery. So after the change in state of delivery, what are we looking out for? A simple retracement, and this is where we're going to start looking for our selling opportunity. Now listen, if you can find your structure on your higher time frame, better. However, it's not a must that you have to look for your structure on the higher time frame. So for example, let's go to the 1 hour time frame. So on the 1 hour time frame, this is the exact structure, the break, the change in strength of delivery that we had, and of course this becomes our inducement, right? This becomes our inducement, and where is our entry? This is our entry, the extreme key level. That was where price used. Okay, so this is an extreme key level, and you can as well enter here. But see, you need to be a little bit patient with this, especially if you are framing from the higher time frame. You can use the same logic on lower time frame, but believe me, the probability is quite lower. Okay, so we have of course, the most important thing is that sometime you will find the same entry on the same time frame. Okay, so let's go straight to this particular one, right? At least I've given us 2 quality examples. Okay, the first thing that I did here was simple. I waited for a simple breakout, which we have here, a simple change in state of delivery on there, right? And what do we have here? We have a fair value gap here. And what did I say about fair value gap? What have I taught you about fair value gap? I've said fair value gap is where price can be drawn to 2 things, can repel or attract, depending on what price is doing. And this is why we have it as price doing 2 things, either seeking liquidity or providing fair value. So when price was coming down, price was obviously providing fair value. So automatically, what was I expecting? I'm actually expecting that price start take that. And of course, that was not all. Remember, we have a key level here, and this key level that is here, we are expecting price to react. Why? Because we have multiple break. We have a break 1, we have another break here. All right, so what else? We have this as our fair value gap, right? So if we go to the 1 hour time frame, as earlier said, we have this area where we want to look for a zone. And where did price use? Price used the extreme key level, just like this one, you see, just like that. That was exactly, this was a new candle. So all I did, I just used the consequent encroachment of that candle, and that was how we're able to catch this. Now this sell, I would have also caught this sell because I already had it marked up. As you can see, I had something here, but the reason why I did not sell it is because this trade had already given me about 1 to 8. The stop loss was around somewhere here. Everything was 1 to 13 actually, but I took 1 to 8 somewhere here because I had a potential setup around that area. So how are we supposed to have entered? It's simple. Same thing we had, but this time around this was a 1 hour framework actually. So I can do the same thing. So I have a change in state of delivery. Yeah, this was my change. Or is it? This was my change in state of delivery on there. So after this change in state of delivery, I had what I call the hidden inducement somewhere on 30 minutes right there, right? So immediately that happened, of course, this was where I could have as well entered the sell. You see it right there. So I would have as well called the sell, but there was no point, and I wasn't willing to do that because I think I had another setup in another pair. So I had to just leave that, and that's how it's going. So it's the same method that I use. See this particular setup, for example, this setup of course it closed me at break even after moving to this high. So there was a sniper entry tap. Of course I wasn't willing to risk anything on this again because price, I waited. So I didn't expect price to come back, because usually when price taps like this, price will tend to go and at least tap this high. So that's why I just told all of us on the Telegram channel to just close at break even, move stops. Price was around here when I said they should move to break even, and of course, and I closed that at break even. So as you can see, it's the same logic, literally the same logic that I used. Now there are other logic that I have on my channel that if you sit on my channel and you pay attention to what I do, you are going to learn a whole lot. Now first thing first, this was a 4-hour QM pattern, 4-hour QM pattern, but remember after that was a structure shift to the upside, and this was a structure continuation. So what happened? And we also have an inducement here. For example, that was an inducement, a liquidity sweep, and of course that was the tap. I did not enter this directly because I needed to wait for extra confirmation. No, I wasn't even on chat when this happened. All right, so immediately the tap, and of course that was a break. Of course that's not the best of break. If it would have been the body, then probably this would have just pushed up, but of course I was willing to take that shot. And of course we had I had an hidden liquidity here. So because of this hidden liquidity, I was interested in taking that buy, and of course price pushed up, but unfortunately price did not get to here. You see, I set my alert here because once price get there, that's when I will break even. However, after this 2 hours candle, 1 and 2, after 2 hours of entry, what did I do? I simply waited, or I just waited for this candle to see how it's forming. So immediately this candle closed like this. I just have an idea that okay, maybe price might want to go down, but of course price can still go up from here. You never can tell. But the good part is I'm already out at break even on this particular setup. Now see this setup on gold. This setup on gold, it's actually a clean setup, but I missed it. One of the reasons I missed it was because of course I was looking at other pair, and same time it was a consolidation. Now this is actually very simple. It's a simple concept, but yet complex. Why? Because everything forming is happening inside this candle. So this is the 1 hour time frame, right? So this is an internal structure. Nothing here is external. Nothing here is a 1 hour structure. Everything here is below the 1 hour structure. So basically all I have to do is I will come to a lower time frame to look for the best structure that I could find. Now, as you can see, the lower time frame, this obviously becomes the best structure, and this will be the 15 minutes. So the 15-minute structure is on here. All right, and of course it's simple. We have it here, we have it here. Now listen, this is, if you are still learning, this is not the best of all structures. This is not the best of all structures at all. It's not the best of all structures. Why? Because you see, these are just wicks, this arranging. But of course, let me tell you how I could have gotten involved in this particular market. Is quite easy. Okay, so I already have a double break of structure, and of course my inducement was here, and I already have an SNR tap, and all I had to do is to simply wait for price to come and mitigate this key level. And of course that's where price came in to use, and price pushed down. It didn't even waste time. Now it gave me an opportunity to enter after the first 15-minute close, but I wasn't willing to enter the trade because it was actually ranging. As a matter of fact, one of my students, to be precise, Timmy by name, he even said that he looked for buy sells multiple times, but it stopped him at break even. Okay, and of course whenever you see market ranging like this, it happens. So it's best to just stay out or use a potential pair that you might think, okay, this one might move, and that's why I actually add this on. Okay, and of course there was another setup I have on here. This is Euro USD. Of course this one is, now you might be wondering how I'm able to catch this huge risk to reward ratio. All right, if you follow me on my Telegram, you will understand better. You will see it live when it's called. And if you want to have a premium and seamless experience, you don't want to miss the Komepips mentorship. All right, check the video description to get in. Okay, you'll get in, and of course you are going to learn a whole lot, because I will literally teach you all the systems that I have and how you can use them in different market conditions. Okay, so basically I'm actually expecting, fortunately for you, I'm expecting a buy. So if you are watching this video, this is your signal. So this is the reward for always staying consistent and watching the video till the end. All right, and I'm expecting this to actually buy. I already had my limit set on this, so it doesn't matter the time of day I'm going to enter the setup. Now when I mean doesn't matter the time of day, if it doesn't get tagged and price and time is getting to, you know, market close or open, I will likely just delete it and wait, because of spreads, right, and because of unhealthy market movement. Okay, can we just analyze this briefly before we call it a day? Meanwhile, in case you've not smashed the like button, can you please do so and subscribe to the channel? Right, we are doing very well. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do, is very simple. As you can see, we had a multiple break and continuation of trend to the upside after this daily zone was tapped. So that was a daily zone, and of course it was marked beforehand, and as you can see, that's my cache 2. I call it cache 2. That was my cache 2 that I use on there. So this was a daily key level, as you can see. So going to the 4-hour time frame is simple. All I had to do is to wait for that tap and creation of a key level. As you can see, look at that, creation of a 4-hour key level. And remember I said on the first example that you can use it directly, right? So if you use it directly, fine. You can as well wait for further confirmations on lower time frame, and of course you could as well use that to enter. Okay, so this is Komepips, and of course we are here to help you to grow. I really wish I could mentor you. I really wish I could be your mentor. I really wish that you would join the Komepips Academy, because that's the best place I can see you and relate with you on a personal note and answer all your questions and give you my cheat code that I use to get involved in the market. Okay, so thank you so much once again for joining in. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below. And now let me just do this. In case you've watched the video to this time, it means you are actually serious in your growth. Can just kindly send me I want financial freedom, thus I want to join your mentorship. Just send it to my Telegram channel. And of course, this is what you will send. Once you send me this, I will know that you are coming from this video. Then automatically I will give you 40% off discount, and if you are in Africa, I will give you 50% off discount. All right, I want financial freedom. Just send me I want financial freedom, paid mentorship. So once you send me this, I'm going to give you access to the Komepips Academy, and of course with 40% or 50% discount. All right, so I really hope that this video is a plus. I hope it has added something to your knowledge. If it did, please let me know in the comment section below, and see you on the profitable side of the market.